I've seen your stand up from Chocolate Sundays, and then I'm a big Kings fan, so of course I see you and you're commentating. I seen you giving Bobby Jackson the closeout advice, man.
Yeah, so we talking, his people talking to my people right now about bringing me on as an official defensive coach.
Okay.
We got a few hiccups. One, I need full control, full power over the head coach. So on defense, he don't need to say nothing. I do all the talking. And if they can't agree to that, then I'll just go somewhere where my services are appreciated. So we try to work through that. And then obviously the financial part, like, you know, I know this will be my first time at that level, so I'm not asking for too much. 75 million a year. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see.
Make it happen, Vivek.
If they can get that worked out, then the Stockton Kings will have the best defense that basketball has ever seen before.
And the closeout was real. That stutter step was real.
It's all about the feet.
Yep.
If your feet ain't right, you ain't gonna be right. That's where your balance. That's where your equilibrium is at. That's what I teach. I teach feet work.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm. Hey man, it's self-explanatory. Everybody go check out that video, man. The proof is in the pudding.
And don't check it out. Don't be selfish. Check it out and then show it to a youngster so they can get developed early on how they need to close out on defense.
What do you think has been like the biggest key to your success?
The biggest key. It's a bunch of keys. God has been the biggest key.
Right on.
You know, just my relationship with God and staying consistent with that. Not always as good as you want to be, but just still prioritizing that relationship. And then my relationships that I build with other people. It's very important. Other comedians, venues, with people who support me. You know, it's all relationship based. And
I remember going to a music seminar in LA, and somebody asking this guy that I forgot, he was some music industry guy, and somebody asked him like, so what advice would you give to, you know, the young artists out there? And he said exactly what you just said. He said, make sure that you cultivate and nurture your relationships. He said that's going to be the most important thing that you get out of this industry.
Yeah, by far. And you know, a lot of people don't know how to cultivate relationships because they only know how to try to get something. And it's like, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, everything's gonna come. People's gonna look out for you, but you gotta be good to people. Genuinely good to people. It's like I call people and just check on them, reach out to people. If I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. You know what I mean? It's very rarely when something comes up and people have to cancel things. People cancel things because they don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So then they let something small go, I can't do it. I got to go pick up, when they can get in the Uber. It's a lot of different things that could happen because there are certain things you wouldn't miss based on what you're canceling this for. So, you know, that kind of thing, man. money is big when you're dealing with people, because, you know, I produce shows too. And that's another way that they help you build relationships. Like you producing a show right now. So it's going to help you build relationships with people because you're producing a show, and you're going to have to reach out to people and talk to people, and then people will build a rapport with you and all kind of stuff like that. But if I have somebody for a show, if I tell you, yo, I got a show for you, Tim, and it's going to pay $500. If I tell you that, regardless of what happens with me, you're going to get your $500.
Right.
I don't care if nobody shows up. Oh, the tickets ain't sell like we thought. It's not your problem.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, so you got to be a person of your word. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. And everybody respects consistency. Everybody. It's like every time I see this dude, he's polite, good energies, good spirit. He don't be tripping or none of that. It's like things will come to you if you just be a good person.
Man, I'm curious, man. What inspires you?
What inspires me in general, as far as comedy goes?
No, just
Like,
you as a person, man. Like, just things that you find inspiring outside of comedy.
oh, titties for sure. I'm very motivated by breast. Titties are highly inspirational for me. Every new pair of titties is like, I need to go do something constructive with my life. Look at those; they're amazing. And then, so there's something very inspiring. Like, okay, so I remember, like when I was younger, thinking people was just like, how people say stuff to try to sound a certain way and you don't believe them.
Mm-hmm.
So you ever see somebody do something really amazing and be like, yo, this is really humbling? And you'd be like, how is that humbling? Until you do something you consider amazing and you get it. Right? And maybe this goes back to my relationship with God, but you know yourself. I know myself. And I know I'm not that great or that whatever. But I do things that are that great. So it's like, yo, I know this wasn't just me. And that's inspirational.
Sounds like you're saying that, knowing that you're connected to your purpose and you're connected to something greater than yourself.
Yes. Yeah, that's inspirational. And then once you achieve something, it inspires you to achieve something else. You know what I mean? And then as far as like I'm inspired by music a lot. Like when I be thinking about like doing great things in comedy, I'm like, I gotta put an album out like Prince. I need like a Purple Rain type comedy spec. I need something that great. I don't think like I need to put out Eddie Murphy Delirious. That was great, but I'd be thinking like, nah, I need Michael Jackson Thriller. Marvin Gaye, what's going on? I need to put out that type of body of work.
I see.
That lives forever. Yeah.
Do you think you've gotten there yet?
I think only the people can decide that. I got a special that'll be out next month on like all the streaming platforms. I watched it a bunch of times. I edited it. I did all that stuff, and I love it. But ultimately, the people will decide how they feel about it. But I think the people will love it too. I need to make sure it's promoted and put out properly.
Oh man, that's amazing! Congratulations, man. Can you give us a sneak peek on the title?
Oh, it's called Undeniable.
Undeniable. Okay.
This is the I'll show you this. That's the cover.
Oh, that's what's up. Man,
so
it's undeniable.
Yeah. So if you're listening to it on the podcast, you can't see this, but just know it's a picture of me in a black and red leather jacket.
Yeah, I remember watching Martin Lawrence's "You So Crazy," and I still remember that black outfit that he had on. Mm-hmm. That's like my favorite of all time.
The oversized black leather shirt thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait till it comes out. Everybody, that's listening, make sure you check out Lance Wood's Undeniable. Make sure you push it out there and give it its proper love that it deserves, man. Because I guarantee you're gonna find it funny. Lance is a funny dude. If you never heard him, I mean, you need to.
I appreciate it, and let me tell you something. If you can't wait for it to come out, imagine how I feel.
That anticipation.
You think you can't wait? Boy, oh boy. Yeah.
All right, I have a very, very serious question for you, man, and I think the audience wants to know. I want to know, when are the Kings gonna make it to the playoffs?
Next year.
Next year?
That was easy.
Man, hold on, Liz, don't play with me, man. You said that way too fast and too confident.
It's next year, and they was close this year, but they got hit with the injury bug at the wrong time. The frustrating thing for Kings fans this year was there was stretches where they looked like literally like one of the best teams in basketball.
Literally.
Like not consistently, but they had stretches. They win 9 out of 10 games. And you'd be like, yo, but you would watch how they were doing it. They were doing it the way good teams do it. They were defending, sharing the ball, and when it came to the fourth quarter, they had a guy who could take over. If I'm not mistaken, De'Aaron Fox led the league in fourth quarter points.
Yep, he did.
So it was like, oh no, they're defending. They're sharing the ball. They're spacing the floor. This is great. And then when it comes down to it, give the ball to De'Aaron and let him do what he's gonna do. And then they got hurt. And because they weren't a particularly like deep team, they can't afford injury.
Yeah.
So when Harrison Barnes gets hurt and Marvin Bagley gets hurt and Tyrese Halliburton gets hurt and Rashawn Holmes gets hurt and then De'Aaron got hurt, it's like, that's a lot to overcome for that team.
Well, I told my daughter like 3 years ago, she asked me when the Kings are going to be good. And I told her that when she gets into high school, and she starts high school next year. So I'm holding you to your word, man. I need that to happen so I can maintain my credibility as a father. That's it.
Hey, man, the next lie you tell her will be the first lie you tell her. Next year, playoffs, man, what you mean?
Coming from South Sac, I mean, I know, what it's like. What kind of advice would you give to the youngsters out there that are trying to make their way? Trying to, find out what they're good at, find out what they're passionate about.
Move, run, get out of there. I'm messing up. You don't got a grandma or auntie, go somewhere else. What I would say is, and it's interesting because like young people right now, they got it a lot easier while also having it a lot harder. They have it harder, but it's actually easier. But they don't fully understand how to use all of the tools that make things easier for them. If that makes sense. It's like, the technology that you have right now, it makes it a lot easier for you to access certain things and certain people. But with this technology comes a lot of foolishness. And if you caught up in that, it's just a distraction. So what I would tell any young person trying to find their way is make sure it's your way. First off, it's like, don't be afraid to do the shit that you think is cool. If I was being honest, I probably should have been in the comedy club when I was 15 years old. You know what I mean? We might be having a total.
Like the day after that show, you should have been in the.
That was years after that.
Oh, okay.
That show was years after that. Yeah. Like when I listen to like Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, they was in the comedy clubs at 14, 15 years old.
You serious?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Chris Rock was super young, but they just kind of knew what they wanted to do when they was around that. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I had to make a lot of mistakes. I had to get into a lot of trouble. I had to try a lot of stuff because I didn't want to because I didn't know what to shape my identity in. If you don't know how to, young people shape their identity into anything. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like
whatever's cool.
Whatever's cool. You know what I mean? So did I really like to fight when I was younger, or was my identity just shaped in somebody who would beat you up? You know what I mean? Like, because I don't like to fight now. I don't like, I box, but I just told somebody the other day, I hope I never have to fight again. I don't want to fight anybody. I don't want to fight somebody. But you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but I don't look forward to like, yeah, I'm about to, like, no. It's way too many girls out here for me to be wanting to fight a man. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
That's what I say, man. Find out what you like and just start working on it now. I don't care who don't think it's cool. Just go do it. That's what I would tell a young person. Start now.
Yeah, don't
Whatever
wait.
it is. Yeah. I was telling somebody else. I think like the young generation right now, like somebody who's like 12 years old, I think by the time they get 20, they are going to like laugh at the idea of having a 9-to-5 job.
I can see
You know
that.
what I mean? Like,
I can see that.
you want me to do what? For who? I'm on Twitch making $6,000 a week. They here with the, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
you're
Like,
not lying, man. You're not lying.
I'm making 30 G's on YouTube. What are you talking about?
9 to 5.
A call center? Are you on drugs? Hey,
What
man,
is
but
that?
yes, they have, and if you learn how to use this technology to your benefit now, and I mean your real benefit, not just to look cool to people, not just to show off your shoes. I'm talking about really learn how to use this technology. These young people now, man, is gone. They're gonna grow up in a whole different world than we did. Oh, they already are, but
Yeah, because if you could build an audience at a young age on social media,
yeah,
you're set up for success.
but that's once again the dangerous part of it, because building an audience doing what?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
so you want to have elders around you that's gonna show you like, nah, you don't want to do that. That ain't cool. You can do that, but you don't necessarily want to do that. Because I know if I had technology and I was 14, 15 years old, I would probably be in jail.
I feel like that's kind of like a really big thing, man. Like to be able to find your purpose and to actually like move forward in that, because I feel like once you're at that point, man, like you probably feel unstoppable.
Yeah, and once you get into that, because this is what it does. It takes all of the excuses away, and now it's just on you. Because the hard part is finding what you're supposed to be doing. Once you find what you're supposed to be doing, so okay, now what you gonna do with it? And that's when it's like there's no one to blame but you. If this don't go right, is you ain't do something right.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get too much confirmation. Too many things will happen that will let you know like this is where you're supposed to be at. And whatever you don't do is on you. So yeah.
I think that's really powerful, man. Like, having that ownership in where your life is headed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's taking control.
Mm-hmm.
It's freedom. It's liberating. It's people talk about financial freedom, and that's definitely something that you want, but you also want freedom over your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And freedom over your, you know what I mean? There's nothing worse, man, than waking up every morning and hating what you have to do every day.
Mm-hmm.
I lived that life. I've lived the life where I went to work every day and dreaded it. Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean every day was a bad day, but every day I wish I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I was there for 9 or 10 hours a day. And every day I wanted to be somewhere else. I don't live like that no more.
Yeah.
I wake up every day now and I'm excited about creating something new, doing something new on my own schedule. It is a freedom that I wish everyone could experience.
Man, it's so true, man. Having that freedom to just, like you said, just kind of create your own schedule and just kind of be excited about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Mm-hmm. You got an opportunity to do something, just go do it, and you'll figure the rest out. And that's easy for me to say because I'm not in your situation. I don't know your responsibilities. But if you got a chance, go.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out. Because a lot of times just people sit around and not sit around because they work and they doing stuff, they provide, and they got families and rent and mortgage and bills. But you don't want to look up one day and say, all I really did was pay bills and, raise kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing. We all got bills to pay, and if we don't pull out, we got kids to raise. But it's more to it than that.
Yeah, I seen a meme floating around several times that said, when you get off work, you should be chasing your dream, and if you're not, it's not that you're not tired. It's not that you're tired. It's just you're not inspired.
Yeah. I mean, there's truth to that, but man, the 9-to-5 life, man, is you gotta think about it like this: 9 to 5. So if you go to work if you got to be at work at 9, that means your day starts at 6:30 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get dressed and shower and do all those things. Depending on how far your commute is to work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then then you factor in when you get off work, your commute back home. You know what I mean? It's like
your whole day, pretty much.
It's your whole day. And then because once you get off, you have a few hours where you just feel like you are off. But if you got kids, they want your time. You got a spouse, they want your time. You still got stuff you want to do. And then before you know it, because it's a countdown to when you got to get ready for work again.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get off at 5, you get home at 6, you got from about 6 until about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Because at 9 o'clock, you start thinking, let's get ready for work tomorrow. And it's to say, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
It's hard to dream in that scenario of, let me work on this business plan. You got too much stuff going on. You don't have the time or energy sometimes. Luckily for me, when I started comedy, I still had a day job, but I was conditioned to not sleep much. I'm sure it wasn't the healthiest thing in the world, but
right.
So I would get off of work and I would chill for a second and I would hit the comedy streets and I'd be out till 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I would come home, go to sleep, and wake up at 6, get ready for work and do that and sleep minimally. But I wouldn't, especially at that time, I didn't sleep a lot. Even if I wasn't out in the comedy street, I'd just be at home up doing something, playing PlayStation or something. I just wasn't big on sleep. I am now. I drink a lot of water and sleep a lot now. Or I don't sleep a lot, but I'm more conscious of my sleep.
Right. Like you said, man, like with the admission of all this technology, even people like myself that do have a 9-to-5 that are having visions and dreams of doing something else, like it's more possible. It's not like I'm like trying to open up some store that I need to be at, that I need to hire workers and I need to do all these business taxes and licenses and stuff. It's a little bit more streamlined and more user friendly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, when you do these kind of things, you don't know what opportunities are gonna come.
Yeah.
It's like you be like, I was doing podcasts, and before you know it, it's like, I guess I host a TV show now. That was interesting. I don't know how that happened. I guess I'm a brand ambassador. It's interesting. It's just, but when you in that purpose, these opportunities start to come and just things you didn't expect. And there they are.
There they are, man. And I want to end it on that note because I feel like that's an inspirational idea. Um, is there anything that you would like to, any advice that you would like to give other than what you've said already to any of the youngsters out there that are listening right now?
Do drugs, drop out of school, and disrespect your parents.
In that order.
Exactly in that order. Do the drugs. You're going to be too high to go to school. And you're not a student, so your parents can tell you what to do.
Oh,
no, I got it. Look, I got a lot of advice, but the one thing I'll say is what I said earlier is work. And that don't mean get a job. That means work. Do work. Set your goal to be the work. Don't worry about the results. Do the work. Whatever the work is for you, do that. If you say you want to be a podcaster, do your due diligence to put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
You keep doing your work. If you say you want to be a basketball player, put the work in. You got to work out. Stop eating Cheetos. You want to be a basketball. If you want to be an athlete, eat like an athlete. Work out like an athlete. Rest like an athlete. Drink like an athlete.
Yeah.
Do the things that you can control. Put the work in, the real work.
Mm-hmm.
And don't always do it on camera. Everybody do things just for the camera now. It's like, we in here grinding. It's like, put the phone down.
Mm-hmm.
Grind and go grind. We gonna see the results. Everybody gonna be able to see who was working. We don't need you to post it. Do the work. I promise you it'll come through. Do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And don't do drugs and don't disrespect your parents.
And stay in school.
Yeah, stay in school, but stay in school consciously understanding why you're in school.
Right.
Don't just go to school for the sake of going to school. Know what you want to go for, and don't let anybody pressure you into thinking you need certain things. You figure it out, but know what you're doing. Whatever you're gonna do, just know what you're doing. Know what you want to do.
So find what you're good at. I'm just kind of recapping the things that I've heard you say. Find what you're good at. Try to find your purpose. Do the work of, whatever that consists of, and don't disrespect your parents and don't do drugs.
Yeah, that's good enough.
All right. Close enough.
Yeah, man, I like it.
And work on your closeout defense.
That's a fact.
But to drive the point home for the basketball players that do want to be basketball players in the future, that's how we can end this, man. We can end this by giving those dudes advice on their closeout defense. Go ahead, Lance.
So check this out. When you close out on defense, the most important thing is getting his space. Make him uncomfortable. Make him feel you all in there. Look at my eyes. That look like that. You look like you want a problem with that. Look him right in his face. Let him know you ain't scoring on me, homie. Hey, cuz, ain't nothing going down over here. Get in his airspace. Let him know. When you close out, chop your feet up.
Chop him up.
Hands up. Put your hand in his face and then look him in his eyes.
All right, y'all. Hey, solid defense, solid life advice. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. This has been a really dope grown man session. I always end by saying this: one person can change the world, but it's one person at a time, and that one person is you. If you've gotten anything from this today, all I ask is that you hit the like and subscribe and just follow us on social media. Lance, can you tell them where to find you on social media?
You can find me at Walmart in the self-checkout doing my thing. On social media, it's Sir Lance Woods on everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is Lance Woods. But put Sir Lance Woods in, you'll find me. Sir Lance Woods, SIR Lance Woods. TikTok, all that. Sir Lance Woods.
All right, man. You heard him, Sir Lance Woods. Hit him up, follow him, and work on your closeout deep.
Pause.
Grown Man Sessions. Till the next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace out, Lance. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.